Braylon is a racist. I'm an equal opportunity finger model employer. What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to Sauce Sports, man. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. So that means we're talking all sports, only Houston, man. With that being said, we just gonna get straight to the point. Who we got joining us this evening in the round table?
It's your boy Breaking News, Braylon, straight from Yates practice. If y'all not hearing about winning the championship, just know they not championship ready right now.
Okay. I mean, I'm glad you're so positive. All right. Look. Just another negative in the city of Houston. Who else we got joining us this evening?
That's too much sauce.
We get the number one shit talker, Toxic Titty. So your titties up in here, but Tinny.
Already Toxic Titty Tinny in the motherfucking mix. Voodoo Child, I mean, tell us how you really feel about Ted Cruz. I think you're fine. I think we know Voodoo voting for Ted Cruz this year. I halfway caught a little bit of the end of that debate, but you know, it is what it is. We might talk about that in the den. But here's the deal, man. I want to welcome y'all to Sauce Sports. If you're new to this, you know, it's a little something that we do. It's a little thing that we do. Called the roll call. And if you're not familiar with the roll call, man, hey, we just want to send a little bit of love, man, just show some appreciation for y'all tuning in and fucking with us every evening, you know, hearing us talk our shit, you know, bitch a little bit, complain, you know, of course we like to hear y'all's takes, y'all's thoughts, and you know, your views and opinions also. So what we're going to do is we're going to send a little bit of digital love wherever you may be. So if you are in the greater Houston area, shout out your side with pride so we can send some love your way. But even if you're not from Houston, even if you're not the Texans, Rockets, Astros, go watch the Dynamo. Shout out to Hector. Dynamo fan, you know, Skeeters, Sabercats, Cougs, TSU. Y'all don't get no love for now because Cougs got to whoop that ass so we can get off that Texas Tech. But if you're just not even a fan of the city of Houston, man, we still got love for you. Let us know where to send that digital love, man, and we'll give you a shout out. And then after that, we're gonna get into some conversation. We're gonna talk Texans versus Giants. We might talk a little bit of Rockets because I've been ignoring the Rockets a lot lately. There's been a little bit of news involving the Rockets, so we'll definitely talk about that. Miss Voodoo C, Kenneth Cologne, Got the Juice, Voodoo Child, Vampire Lord, T-Mac 34, Jerry Montalvo, Jay Dizzle, Isaiah Ramirez, Joshua Jaja, Footballer 503, what's the motherfucking deal? Phoenix. No, I'm with some big titty bitches down there. You ain't got bras in Atlanta, Phoenix. You at Zaxby's talking about a big chicken breast. Manuel Garfio, what's the motherfucking deal? Victor, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi, you got jokes. Justin, what's the motherfucking deal? You got rejected by a girl, man. You got to come in the den with your girl problems, Justin. But then might be past your bedtime. We will definitely help you solve all your relationship problems. You know, that's no worries. I'll show you how to fix that in an instant. You know, I don't only talk sports. We solve life problems too. Trey, what's the motherfucking deal? Shelby, GT, Jamal, Scrooston, what's the motherfucking deal? You want to take her to homecoming and Winterfest Station? Well, okay. Guess what's other fish in the sea, man? Get out your rod and reel. You know the deal. Cast away. Real Swift 713. What's the motherfucking deal? Fifth Ward representing already. Said, come on, man, back up. Say, fuck the Chiefs too. All right, fuck the Chiefs too. Then you know it is what it is. Monty G Montgomery already. You say west of the row holding it down already. Let's see, Spring with the motherfucking mix already. Let's see. Conroe in the house. Conroe girl already. Sometimes you go fishing and catch an old boot. That is true. You know, you throw that boot back and then you know you cast it and you keep casting, you catch what you want, man. You know what I'm saying? There goes Scrooston with that nonsense. The Kush Den is no longer the Kush Den. There's been some change, but we'll talk about that a little later into the stream, man. But I want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us tonight, man. We're going to get into some conversation. Shout out to everybody who's been holding down the sauce, man. Shout out to everybody who's been sticking with it, even though Texas are going through hard times. I'm going to say, what's up, Clarence? What's the motherfucking deal? Even though the Texans are going through hard times, even though, you know, it ain't looking as lovely as we'd like it to look. You know, sometimes things happen. Miss Voodoo go whoop your ass. God. Yeah, she gonna put them hands. If we don't hear any more, we don't see any more chats from Voodoo for the rest of the stream, we know what happened. But shout out to the best moderating couple in all the land, man. The Voodoo's definitely been holding down the sauce day in and day out, and I appreciate it. Shout out to Jay Dizzle too, man. I don't want you to feel neglected. You know what I'm saying? Because you definitely be holding it down. We got plenty to talk about tonight, man. But we're just gonna get into it. First, I want to talk about the injury report came out today, And I kind of want to talk about how the injuries are going to affect the Texans heading into this game. And, just overall the impact of the guys that are not available. We're going to talk about some guys who've consistently been on that injury report that we figured would be contributors in some fashion. And, the impact of some guys who are coming back. So we'll start off with Braylon, then we'll get Tenny's thoughts, man. You got a couple of guys coming on off the list. You got Clowney coming back. You got Covington coming back, which are both good signs for the defense. Who's been able to play decently in their absence. It's only been, 2 weeks, but it is what it is. I thought Covington, the way he looked at first, I thought it was going to be a major issue, but glad he could come back. It was only, a game and or so that he missed. You got Kiki still on that list. You got Coates on the list again. And then you saw limited practice this week from basically almost all our fucking wide receivers other than Ellington. You saw Hopkins, you saw Fuller, you saw Sammy, you saw Kiki, all on the limited participation list. And we saw questionable for Coates and Sammy. And then, again, the guy we picked up that so many people asked about, that was one of my key concerns about it that I think a lot of people overlooked. Kayvon Webster, an Achilles injury, has not been available for us yet. And that was something I told people that we needed to watch out for, because how did he return so quickly after having an injury after Deontay Foreman? And then, again, what is he on the injury report list with? A Achilles injury. So that's something we got to consider. So breaking news, Bray. How do you feel about the guys that are not available, and what kind of impact will that have overall going into Sunday's game?
Okay. First off, the guys that are not available are most likely going to be Kiki, Kayvon. Most likely. It's going to be those two. What the fuck is... okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I had a slight flashback when I heard the sound. My bad. I had a flight... Ignore me.
They shooting.
Nah, he wasn't shooting. It sounded like farts. But let's not get to that conversation. Those two are most likely guys that won't be available. I'm not worried about Hopkins, because when the game matters and it says he's on the list, he's always going to play. It always seems like he's playing. Fuller, I think, he may have like a little bit of soreness left over because it was his first game of basically the season, it seems like. So he's probably sore. It's probably not too much to worry about. But I don't think that it'll be a big deal injury-wise. Of course, Clowney will be back. But, the guys that you have to look at for injuries were on the Giants. So that was Vernon and Eli Apple. Eli Apple's already ass, so you take him off the field. The Giants secondary is even more ass. So that bodes well for Will Fuller and Hopkins and Ellington. It bodes well for Jordan Thomas, Jordan Akins, Ryan Griffin. It bodes well for Lamar Miller, Alpha Blue. Offensive line, at least Davenport and Rankin has one less got to block. But and I know Nick Martin is very trusted. We can trust Nick Martin to stop. Well, not stop, but slow down Damon Harrison. So.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I realized the bank was not available. The bank should be accessible now. I got
man.
to donate.
Man, I thought you said that I was muted. I thought you was gonna say I was muted. I thought you said.
Well, that too, but we ain't gonna worry about that. We ain't missed nothing. It's all good. Now I'm playing. Tenny face got me dying. Tenny, man, your thoughts on how the injuries that are the Texans having, and it was a good point that Brandon brought up the injuries that the Giants have too, and I can't even remember the center being out that they have, and I think that should be good for DJ Reader. But how do you feel about the Giants, the injury situation, and the Texans injury situation, comparing the injury reports? What kind of impact is that going to have on the game on Sunday?
Shit, man, the Giants injury report looked like a fucking receipt, but then fucking Texans look like a taco truck menu. That shit was stupid long. All these fucking names, all these motherfuckers. Who the fuck is hamstringing? What the fuck did the Texans do to him? Because he everywhere on that bitch. And Jesus Christ, man. But I mean, quite honestly, man, at this point in time, all these players with these little injuries here and there, like we don't even know if they're like serious injuries or if they're just listed because they got to report it to the NFL. So I mean, I would tell every Houston Texans fan, don't look to that injury report as like as a excuse to say, oh well, this is why we probably lost, because they weren't at 100% and capable of playing. And I don't know, man. Like this shit just feels like we're walking into another situation where we should be able to win this game, but then it's going to turn into a big flop because the offense can't get it going. So if they really want to fucking change their culture, if they're really serious about all the shit they've been saying in the media this week, all of these players that were listed, they better fucking go out there and have a game, because it seems that anybody that's been facing the New York Giants has had a game. Now, speaking on the Patriots and the Titans, not one player ever like stood out outside of like maybe Tom Brady. But outside of that, I mean, nobody's really fucking balling out on us. People that we play against are just executing their game plan way better than we are. So, I mean, all these guys, they better step their fucking game up and bring their fucking shit and really put it to work, because outside of a miracle, this season is looking lost real quick if we lose this Sunday.
You made an excellent point there. Excellent point. And that's why I try to remain with a little iota of hope. Because what you said about that nobody's really just standing out on us. You know,
Drake done abused Kiki. BC, he did not love him.
Man, you know what? Drake probably did ruin the fucking Kiki, man, because, you know, ever since that song came out, Kiki been hurt, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't been able to play, been inactive. You know, he was balling off for it. Then that whole trend came out, people doing the whatever the dance was and shit. And then fucking, Kiki ain't worth the fuck. I ain't gonna say that. His hamstring been in Where's Walter, can't find that bitch. But what you said about no one has really stood out against us. And I mean, honestly, I want to say offensively and defensively, but against the defense against us, again, you know, we got some young guys out there, so they've been able to take advantage of a couple of things. But still, I would even just say that, you know, it's one guy in particular. Everybody's kind of having a little bit of success. They passing that offensive line around, party style. But as far as stopping us, I mean, as far as scoring on us, as far as anything like that defensively, again, you got to look at the things that have happened. We're talking about one-score games, one in which, you know, if we don't have that fumble early, Patriots don't get that easy score. I mean, it doesn't happen. They got an easy score off that fucking turnover early. You know, or in bad position early, and then so they go down, they score. You have the one trick play against the Titans. I mean, and that's unacceptable. You have to be ready at all times. But, you know, you can look at little factors that are not commonplace in every game. It's not consistency. It's not like guys are just saying, okay, well, there's Texas defense. We finna just march down the field on their ass, you know, all game long. That's not happening. So, again, it comes down to execution, because, you know, you have these small instances where stupid shit happens, and it costs us a game in the long run. It may be early in the game. You say, okay, we've got time to recoup from that. Yeah and no, because if you're consistently having poor execution, then you're not overcoming those things. You know, defense has to make up and try to get turnovers on their own. And we've had those opportunities that haven't really been able to capitalize on them. I want to say against the Titans, there were like 2 opportunities that we had. Or was it just that one towards the end? I want to say it was 2. I know it was the one towards the end where I think Kareem knocked it loose. But I want to say there was another one we had an opportunity to recover, and we didn't. It was 2 plays that were almost exciting plays that did not happen. But either way, nobody's really just handling us. So it's really like, that's why I say I'm not feeling like, oh, the Texans are so bad that we're out there getting handled, but we're not playing up to par. And I think that's a problem. And that's a coaching issue when it comes down to it, because you got to get those guys out there performing.
Yeah, it's kind of true, because we haven't had the one play we needed to go right. It seems like every time something's about to go right, boom. What? Huh? What happened? I remember we was driving down the field against Tennessee. Hopkins had a 36-yard gain. He had caught the ball. That was his first catch. Hold it. Damn it. Shit. Execute. And it seems like that's been the trend for these first 2 games. So hopefully we can get that corrected.
I agree. That was the one with was that the Kelemete play where we had gained the 25 yards and then he had the clipping, so it basically turned into a 40-yard loss essentially.
Yep. The fakest clip in the history of clipping.
Yeah, things like that. I mean, those kind of plays, again, that comes down to execution. Shit like that, you just can't have those type of plays and expect to be successful, especially when you're getting off to slow starts. Getting in that end zone can get things going. Cutting your camera back on can also help get things going. But, that's on me. Players fuck up. But, getting in that end zone can help get things going and, get that momentum started. But again, we've just been getting off these slow starts, and again, that's unacceptable. So I got a question, man. Something happened last night, and we got to talk about it. Right now, the Texans have the longest break, I would say. I'm trying to use it to put it as politely as possible, but the longest gap in between wins. No, it's the longest active losing streak. You might as well just say longest active losing streak. Look, it's been confirmed. Nah, bro, let's not talk it up, bro. Let's not try to season it up to make it seem like it's good. But the chicken is overcooked and it's rubber and it's tough. You using 3 different steak knives to see if it's cuttable, but it's not cuttable. Nah, man, let's just tell the truth. It's the longest active losing streak. 305 days. And I believe 12 straight, 14 is 50, something ridiculous, which it shouldn't be. Yes, it's sad. It's sad either way it goes. The Browns won last night, especially after Crowell shitted on them, and they took that personally. And we were talking about some things yesterday and even the day before. I kind of said, man, you look at it, we're in the category of the Browns, we're in the category of the Bengals, we're amongst those teams. We don't want to look like it, we don't want to believe that because we had a couple of division titles and things like that. But right here, right now, I mean that's kind of the crowd we're in right now. We're behind the Browns. We have less wins than the Browns. Of course, we haven't played as many games, so I think that's going to be a factor. But I mean, I just want to kind of know how y'all feel about. I mean, right now, technically, with this losing streak. I mean, how does that make you feel? We'll start with Tenny and just kind of want to get your thoughts on that, and then we'll highlight Breaking News Braylon and get his opinion on right now having the longest break in between victories in the NFL.
I really want to touch on that shit. Like, the Browns have been capable of sneaking up entire seasons where we kind of fell short last year because of the injuries and shit and stumbled and lost our way. This year, we're just not executing. So, I mean, motherfuckers can have their laugh right now, but I mean, the Browns beat Jets. Like, seriously, we're not talking about the playoff contending Jets. We're not talking about the Super Bowl contending Jets. We're talking about the bum-ass Jets who just had to fucking draft yet another quarterback in the first round and have to fucking rebuild their team once again through free agency. Now, granted, they've had some success with it so far in this league, and it's only been 2 weeks, so we'll leave it at that. Or they played their third week last night. So, I mean, it's really not an accomplishment for the Browns to go out there and beat the fucking Jets. Go out there and beat the fucking Steelers. I mean, yeah, you fucking tied them, but who gives a fuck? I mean, I'd rather fucking lose than get a fucking tie. I don't give a fuck how positive it is for the fucking record, because at the end of the day, it just meant that neither one of you were capable of getting that one extra point that you needed to win. So, I mean, fucking, this whole like, we've been 305 days without a win. We're guaranteed we're gonna fucking win one this year, and that's not even like fucking like talking big or like having fucking large nuts to sit on. It's just a simple fact that somebody's gonna fuck up worse than we are in this season, pretty much, and we're gonna capitalize on that because we still got to go up against the Bills. Who the fuck says the Bills can beat us right now? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I know we're in a rough spot. I know we fucking lost 2, but I mean, let's put things into perspective. Titans walk out of that win because of the fake punt. Fucking New England fucking capitalized on keeping the distance from us and running the clock out. So, I mean, we're not going to be facing like fucking diehard fucking nobody's going to be able to fucking allow us to score shit like that. They're going to get it together in some of these games. So, the Giants game looks like a good game to where it might be able to have all the pieces fall together. And then you got the Bills, like I said, we're going to face those motherfuckers this year. We're going to show off against the fucking Browns. Browns, because we all know the Browns. Right before that shit, everybody was like, "Oh, I feel bad for the Browns," and then Tyrod Taylor comes out, and then Baker Mayfield comes in, and everybody's on his nuts. So I mean, come on, let's get back to reality and shit, and just realize that we get to face a bunch of teams that are going to give us a win here or there. The thing we're worried about is if we can get to becoming a winning team, a playoff caliber team. Because as Texans fans, we understand where our position is right now. We don't look like a playoff caliber team. We don't look like a wild card team. And I think that's the only thing we're really focused on, is seeing if this team can make it into a wild card spot or possibly solidify a fucking AFC South Division championship.
And I agree with you. You know, Voodoo says never say that. Anything can happen. You know, we saw what happened last year. We don't want to jinx it, but I feel like, honestly, man, I mean, just being realistic, I think that if you look at it, you would think that Giants fans have to kind of feel the same way we feel right now. You would look at the Steelers fans. They may not think that they're as bad, but they're like, hey, we got talent, we have ability, and we're not executing. We're not getting shit done. We're not getting wins. And again, you got some of these teams that are thriving that normally shouldn't be thriving. Again, it's early in the year, and I know it's September, you know, greatest month of the year and everything. But Braylon, I mean, what do you think, man? How do you feel about this losing streak? What does that say about the Texans? Is it just unfortunate? Is it just one of those ESPN made up stats? Is it just one of those things that just it's a matter of timing and execution issues? How do you feel?
I want to say that although we're losing the first two games, we were very winnable games. Like we've said, it was one play away. The one play we needed did not go our way, of course. Or we made a critical mistake, turnover, or not guarding the Gunners, which still baffles me. But that's in the past. We're looking at the future. We have the Giants. We have a team with no offensive. I mean, our offensive line is bad. You know, it's bad. You got to emphasize bad. And theirs is actually bad. Eli had no time on Sunday night. The man was like, how the fuck I'm supposed to throw the damn ball if I only got a half a second to throw the ball? And by the time I have a second to throw the ball, I'm going to have the most interceptions and I'm going to be the one looking bad. But you know what? We need to counter on that and send no fucking houses and send blitzes. We need to have Clowney and Ejiofor on the same side. We need to have Whitney Merciless and Clowney, you know, over the center, speed rushing the center, because they have a backup center now that can't stop these guys. I've been kind of tricky on Romeo Crennel and his play calling with the pass rush, because he's had the talent, and for these first two games, and other than Duke Ejiofor and Reader, our Pro Bowl, all pro type talents aren't doing it. They aren't getting to the quarterback in time. They aren't, you know, Watt isn't finishing his plays for tackle for losses. He's always, you know, missing them slowly. But of course, that's a little rust, you know. That's the rust that everybody likes to give them. That's the rust that Good Morning Football gives them, or First Take, or Colin Cowherd, cow shit, whatever you want to call him, because he's purely shit in his brain. Yes, Hunter, don't look like that. He is shit in his brain. You know it. This man is still criticizing Baker Mayfield after what he did last night. But that's in the past. You know, fuck that shit. But still.
Brandon, I got a question real quick. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But rumor has it, I just got a message coming in on the sauce line that says the Onalaska superintendent, on the comment that he posted on Facebook, that there was a like from one Braylon Reed under that comment. Is this true?
For what? What nigga? Bro, you.
Hey, I've heard Braylon use that hard R.
And this is why inquiring minds want to know. You know, you got that.
Hey, bro, you do like
Georgia.
This dark ass?
Look, you do like Georgia. You know, we heard you. We've heard you. We've all witnessed the hard ER on stream. Hey, it's some Uncle Ruckuses out there. You might be nephew Ruckus. You're a youngster. You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking, man. I mean, I can only ask the questions that are given. I just need to know. I mean, if it's not true, denounce it. You've yet to separate yourself from the likes of those people. You've been deflecting the answer. I need to know the truth.
Hey man, look at them polos that he be wearing. I bet he got tiki torches in the backyard.
Hey, whore. My bad for saying that. But I'm wearing these polos because it's a school damn shirt. Now, I'm going through my likes, and I ain't like nothing like that shit. So, if y'all saying these false facts, y'all saying it's facts, but it's false as shit.
Okay. We're going to need a screenshot facts before he deletes it.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Let's get a screenshot.
I hope they ain't catch me. Let me hurry and get that off of there.
I'm not taking. Matter of fact, Honcho, you go look on my Twitter, and you tell me under my likes, do I have anything like that? You know, niggas try to bring me down, but you know what? I ain't gonna let them bring me down.
I heard a little.
I'm not.
That was a little at the end of that. That was a little. I mean, it was. I don't know.
Stop playing with me. I said niggas with the A. Nig us.
Oh, okay.
Trying to bring me down. Okay. Now, if y'all don't believe me, I ain't touched my Twitter. Y'all can go look at my Twitter right now. BN Braylon, BREYLON, because niggas is gonna spell it with an A, because y'all are stupid. I'm raining right now, so if I say anything stupid, it's just because y'all have made me a little bit mad. So y'all better go look on my Twitter and my likes. It's nothing like that. Liked. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
So what's this like for Alexis, Texas that I see here?
Ain't no fight for no damn Alexis, Texas. You playing with me?
He looking for a girl with that trunk space you want on a late model car.
I'm just trying to say anyway.
Why you playing with me, Honcho? Why are you playing with me like that, man?
Nah, I'm just
why are you playing with me?
I got to give you a hard time, man. I got to give you a hard time, like you're trying to give Alexis, Texas. Anyway, let's see what we trying to figure out here. Listen. You like the same pages as Darren? But here's the question I have, though.
Nah, no, wait, no, and I still haven't followed back Darren. I still have not followed him back after that.
You got to be careful what you get into, baby. When you follow that boy Swisher, baby. Look, it's Swisher first, Darren second. But I mean, what kind of impact does this have on Bill O'Brien if he fails to I mean, we got a home game, home field advantage, so no excuse about a young team on the road. You're going against another 0-2 team. The Browns have just made the Texans have the longest active losing streak in the league. What is this? Does the Browns winning a game, does that have an impact on what happens in Bill O'Brien's career? Does that have an impact on the possibility of Bill O'Brien being fired before the end of this season, or do you think just that's kind of it's not impactful on that situation?
If we keep losing, yes, it's going to have an impact, because then it's like, damn, the Texans are the new Browns. They have all this talent and can't win. Shit. Then Bill O'Brien's career is about to, it's going to fall a bit down. And we'll be talking about coaches again. And, hey, like I said, call that boy up from Stanford or boy in Minnesota, John Del Flippio. I swear to God, I still don't know how to pronounce his name. Give me like 3 months and I'm going to know how to pronounce his name. Because that shit is hard. Y'all try to pronounce that name. Or Matt LaFleur.
Okay, so you're talking about Lil Flip and Gucci Man LaFleur. So here's the Tenny, your thoughts, man. I mean, is if the Texans don't come out with a victory on Sunday, I mean, of course, the last two games we've gone in expecting victory. I expect victory this game. I mean, I'm looking at all the everything's lining up that this should be a victory. But if somehow, some way, the football guys decide, no, not today, not this given Sunday, what kind of impact does that have on the outlook of Bill O'Brien's career? I mean, is it useless, or I mean, are people going to start looking? Does the seat get a little bit warmer? I mean, what do you think?
I think if we lose on this Sunday, fucking Bob McNair's old fucking Tales from the crip fingers better fucking dig into the yellow pages and start looking at a few names. Because quite honestly, if we lose this game, and I've already predicted that we'll lose this game, I choose them as my pick to win. But I still say here on the video, and I'll put it on fucking tape, that we're going to lose this game just for the simple fact is we've been so cold and stagnant.
And if we lose this game, your ass is going to be back in the suit and shirt again eating crow.
Well, I didn't talk no shit, so I don't really have to crow. So
No.
Oh, now I got a crow. Now I got a crow.
Nah. That's crow because you said that they are going to lose.
Well, you know what? Let me borrow your damn tiki. Let me do your damn tiki torch, and I'll put it in the background. I ain't even like that motherfucker.
Tiki torch. Damn it! I live in the hood where we can't even sit outside. Damn it!
Viva la Raza! Viva la Raza! Braylon
got a white polo to go with that one. He got some khaki. Got a
but like seriously though, man. I mean, we got to start paying serious attention to the guys around the league that could use our talent. And quite honestly, like I'm really favoring it, and I'll campaign until something else happens. But Eric Blenheim, or whatever his name is, from Kansas City, what he's doing with Patrick Mahomes down there, and the speed that they got on their offensive side of the ball. I mean, like I said, Bob McNair better get out his ass and look at this coach and bring him on board at the end of the season if shit keeps going south.
Now, my little problem with him is that his resume is a bit smaller than other guys out there. Just saying. That's my only blemish on him. It's a little bit smaller.
We all know you're racist. You only hate him because he's black. So I mean, let's not talk about
what, bro? I named a black head coach in football who gets disrespected.
Damn it, leave me alone.
No, it's David Shaw. Leave me alone. Damn it.
Okay.
You're trying to get the yes man in here. I don't need no yes man. I need somebody with rockets on the skates.
But I see the skills has proven to be extremely patient with coaching in the past. I think O'Brien has at least another season if this one was, and I agree because I mean it took damn near death for Kubiak to get up out of here. So I definitely agree that O'Brien has some time. But I mean this doesn't paint a good picture for him either way, because you have a situation where do you not? Because I've been a person who's been saying that you know what. Again, I don't think the problem is getting rid of O'Brien. I think it's an OC. I honestly just feel like you bring an offensive coordinator, alleviate some of the pressure on him because I think the players like him. But once you start losing, you become a loser. You're gonna lose a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Just like winning covers all wounds, heals all problems. Losing opens them motherfuckers back up. It peels the scabs off of them hoes, and you expose the flesh. And so my thing is
back to back AFC South champions. Back to back.
Back to back. Those were a long time ago. It seems like right now. But again, like I said, you go in.
Didn't we see Kubiak do that back to back, and then he followed up with that shit ass 2-14 season and got shit canned? Yeah. I mean,
back to back 4-12, and so far not looking good either.
But my thing is this though. Would you entertain? I mean, if you're, because I've seen a lot of people say a lot of stuff. Fire him. I'm opposed to firing in the middle of the season because then you're not going to go find your next head coach in the middle of the season. It's not going to happen. But if you did fire him in the middle of the season, do you entertain letting a guy like Sean Ryan be your interim, or do you go with Crennel, or I mean, what do you guys think about that? Tenny, I'll start with your thoughts, and then we'll get breaking sheets Braylon and his thoughts on it.
Absolutely. I mean, Sean Ryan would be your only choice, period. I mean, unless you're going to fucking promote another position coach that's somewhere on this team. Rack don't want the job. Rack refuses to be a head coach in this league again. Anybody in this league could have offered Rack money last year, but I'm more than certain the phone call went out to him and he said no. That's the whole reason why he stayed on as like the assistant defensive coordinator or whatever that shit is.
Assistant head
coach. Yeah, I mean, pretty much he was just sitting in the office, fucking just looking out the window, probably just staring at the birds, whatever Rack does, Rack's moments. And, he doesn't want to be a head coach, so we all know it goes to Sean Ryan. And honestly, I would be very interested to see what Sean Ryan would do because think about it, he doesn't have this these parameters that he has to work within someone else's playbook. He can kind of take, I'm gonna say religious freedoms, even though it's not religious freedoms, creative freedoms, creative intellect to input on what he wants to do with this team. And I think he might be able to find some success. And I mean, let's think about it. If we go 0-6 or 0-8, we know a change like that will happen. And it's very possible that we'll see O'Brien shit-canned if we go fucking 8 fucking games without a win. And that would be a reason to say, hey, give it to Sean Ryan. Let's see what he does. He's very, very familiar with fucking Deshaun Watson and what he can do. I mean, I think he had a lot to do with what Deshaun Watson was doing last year, especially if we're looking at the game plan now. And I think just personally, it would be a nice change of pace from what O'Brien's doing, because I feel like O'Brien's game book is planned for fucking teams from the 90s. It's like he's watching film from the 90s on these guys that we're going up against and trying to go out there and play a fucking 90s game when this shit is clearly a turn of the century fucking game plan that you got to have to win in this league now. I mean, you can see people getting fast, going short and intermediate. Nobody's trying to take the roof off the house anymore. Everybody's getting what they can and letting their fucking speedy guys burn it up later in the game. And I don't think O'Brien gets it.
I mean, you know what? That comes from him having Tom Brady and Randy Moss at the same damn time. I swear to God, if he didn't have Randy Moss, he saw that shit was not going to work, he would not be doing it right now. But because he had a guy like Randy Moss who was beating everybody and was snagging on everybody at the same damn time, he was being a red zone threat and being a deep threat at the same time, because you can just literally throw it up to him and get it to him. But we don't. Okay, Hopkins can do it, but that's not Hopkins built for. Hopkins is built to get you your 10, 15 yards here, and boom. Will Fuller is your deep person, but he can't go up and get it every time because he's not the strongest, biggest one. And that's the ego in him. That's the ego saying, this shit work with Brady. This shit work with Randy Moss. This shit ain't working with fucking Hopkins and fucking Watson and Fuller because they are just not those players. But that's an argument for another day. It is.
Okay. Sound like you're a little upset there. Here's the deal. We're gonna get into the next question, and then we'll open up the sauce line here shortly, so you guys can call in, you guys can text in. And I saw a question say, when is Brett Coleman going to be on the round table? Well, whenever he would like to be. Hey, he would be more than welcome to come and voice his opinion in the round table. And I kind of want to look at the good and the bad. You know, I'm trying to find some positives in this situation. So I made me a little brief list. I've been jotting down little notes here, just trying to think about what pluses the Texans have and what negatives they have. And you know, I kind of want Sauce Nation. I want your thoughts. I want your opinions. And, you know, the round table, of course, I want your thoughts and opinions. And if you need the number to text the sauce line, I'll put the text number up, and then I'll open it up for calls here after we discuss this topic. But I'm just trying to look at the goods and the bad, man. I want to go into this game looking like, hey, you know, the Texans can win this. They should win this. They should have won the last 2 games, honestly. But let's talk about it. The bad. Looking at these previous 2 games, we'll talk about the bads first, and then we'll end it with the goods, so we leave it on a good note. But the bads that I've taken from these games that have been a little bit consistent: Deshaun's turnovers, the play from these young tackles. Our linebackers have not honestly been performing very well, not from what we've expected. We were talking about the other day. Haven't heard a lot of Cole's name. We saw Cunningham get worked over. Where's McKinney been? Merciless is yet to really break out and get that shine. Clowney has been hurting. We know we got a lot of hole in that Patriots game. What's going on outside of Duke? I mean, what's going on with the linebackers, inside and outside? Haven't really seen a lot from them. And then another concern is the wide receiver injuries, and again the consist, like again Coates and fucking Kuti, you know, is this what Braxton was looking better. Is this what we let Braxton go for? Again, I wasn't even a big proponent of keeping Braxton around, but he was looking better if he'd have been healthy. I mean, it's better to have somebody healthy and available to contribute their services, other than just holding a roster spot from guys who can't really help you out. So these are my thoughts on the bad. I would like to know, how you guys feel. What is the bad? What are some other bads that we're dealing with as Texans, or as the Texans are dealing with, that you've seen consistently over these last 2 games that could pose a problem for us going into the Giants matchup? We'll start with go with Tenny on that, and then we'll get to breaking news, brother.
All right, you said we starting off with the bads, right? All right, so some of the bads that I think I'm seeing is Deshaun Watson's nerves. I mean, there's points in times where you could see there's before the plays even started, you could see it in his eyes. He's second guessing himself. I think what needs to happen is he needs to get out of this whole phase really quick. I think that he's hindering himself. He's caused both these 2 fumbles that he's had to back-to-back games. Luckily, only one turned over. The other one was recovered. As far as the deep throws, I mean, if you're going to throw into double coverage, fucking let's throw to D-Hop. I can accept that kind of interception because you're letting your best wide receiver take a shot at it. Don't throw into double coverage with fucking Vincent Smith, because fuck that guy. And like I said, fuck that guy. One of the other things I want to talk about is the fucking overall ability of the offense needs to play a cleaner game. These fucking penalties are out of this world fucking bad right now. And we've seen this before with the Bill O'Brien coach team. The penalties, I don't know where the fuck they get them from or where they get the idea that it's cool to do them. But they need to fucking find a way to clean up their game or hide what the fuck they're trying to do. And they need to get cleaner on the offensive line. If they got a little bit cleaner, I think a lot of more people, especially as far as Texan fans, could forgive them. Again, with the defense, like you were saying, and the linebackers, they got to start hot too. Because this shit where fucking they're missing tackles, we need to start fucking putting more hats on the ball and hitting people more. I know they're trying not to get the fucking flag called, but at the end of the day, you got to start doing something to make a difference. And they're doing okay as far as limiting these running backs from taking the game away from us and controlling what they want to do. But at the same time, I think Rack needs to get in there and fucking put Cole as a starting linebacker over fucking Bernard McKinney, I'm sorry, or even over fucking Cunningham, because I think Cole has shown more of an ability to look at the play and diagnose it before it happens. And I think having somebody like that over the course of 3 hours on the field will make a difference as far as what happens with this defense, and they'll be even more effective.
Definitely agree with you on that Cole comment. I'd like to see Cole get some more action. Cole is a guy that I think is he's going to be a force to be reckoned with before too long. Braylon, your thoughts, the bads. What would you add to this list?
So it's not now add to the list because everything was said. Watson, the interceptions came from him trying to make a play because there was nothing going on offense. The offense was a bit dead, except for interception of D-Hop when he was taking the shot. D-Hop wanted it, but it's times where your quarterback has to know, nah, that's not the move. You got a speedster who's running behind you, but it's pretty fast to get back into the play. That's what Adoree Jackson did. But the fumbles came from him being a bit nervous. You can kind of tell the first snap when he had lined up for the Lamar Miller that he wasn't, looking like, I'm back, but I got a little bit something going on. That's nerves, and later on in the game he kind of shook it off, and then not being aware of where everybody's at and holding the ball with one hand. Still rookie mistakes. But Huncho, you mind if I go on a rant? Because I don't think I went on this rant on this show about Watson. Have I? Have I been on the rant? Or with Watson?
I mean, as long as you don't drop a hard ER on Watson, I mean, you do your thing.
I ain't dropping that now, bro. That's my boy. Okay. That's my boy. Okay. That's my boy.
Well, do your thing.
We have been so critical of this man. We treating him like he's Aaron Rodgers, Brady, and I get that we're trying to hold him to that high standard, but it's crazy to me that people think that he's this 29, 30-year-old quarterback who's been in the league for 10 years, and understand every aspect of the game. Houston Texans fans are so impatient about this man. Granted, they kind of should be because we've had horrible quarterback play. Brock Osweiler, Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, Matt Schaub, the most infamous, overrated quarterback in the history of a starting lineup. The man was constantly starting the game. I don't know how the hell, and then got pat, and then they decide, you know what? Still, I get that. We've been anxious to get a quarterback, and it looks like we have him. But it befuddles me to understand that people think that he won't make mistakes. The man is 20, just turned 23 on the 14th September. 2 days after now. We toward 14. I was probably born on the 14th, but bro, I was born 2 days earlier. Shit.
Homer.
Nah. I'm not being a homer because other guys on the roundtable have seen that we are holding him to a stupid high expectation when knowingly he's going to make these rookie sophomore mistakes. People say maybe we should take Pat Mahomes. Okay, you take Pat Mahomes, he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have done what Watson did in Watson's first 8 games. Because he's had to sit. Watson has not had time to, just learn. Pat Mahomes had time to sit, watch, understand situations.
I'm going to disagree with you on that because Watson was hurt, but he was still on those sidelines. He was still at those games watching, even though it was a poor.
But was he able to practice? Was he able to practice?
Hey.
Was he able to be on the field?
Braylon,
okay.
Braylon, can I speak
No,
I'm just going
right there. Nah.
Because you're a young man, I just want to pass some knowledge on to you, and it's a simple statement that I learned a long time ago from a wise man. All right, so look, you got to clear your mind of all your upsetness and your brain. All right, so clear your mind. Woosah. All right, so it goes like this: excuses are monuments to nothing. That's the statement.
I'm not giving them any excuses. I'm
Don't be throwing crutches out here, so that way he can keep hobbling on a healed ACL. I said it. Don't be throwing crutches out here, so he can hobble on a healed ACL. Don't put that out there. This man's had how many months? How many months to?
Yo, Tenny, understand this. When the players was at team meetings, this man was in a training facility room working on his ACL. Compared to what Mahomes had, a full season to sit his ass down, go to a playoffs, they're under a quarterback who understands shit, and have a coach who knows what the hell to do. Do you fully trust Bill O'Brien with Deshaun Watson? Tell me this. No. Do you fully trust Bill O'Brien with Deshaun Watson? Tell me.
Here's
God, he didn't knock the camera.
Man, he got beat and stole off on the camera. Goddamn. Is your camera black? Did you just punch your camera because it's black?
No, I'm not. I actually wanted to protect this damn phone. This is the $1,000 phone, so I'm trying to protect this shit like motherfucker. That was an accident. Yes.
Here's my deal.
But still,
here's my deal with that.
Do y'all trust?
Here's my deal with that. You know what I realize is when it was all fine and dandy, when Watson was putting up 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, executing all this stuff. It was all Watson. Bill O'Brien had nothing to do with it. He's, garbage. He's this, and it's all on Watson. But now that Watson is not performing up to par, now it's not him that's not doing it. We give him all the credit when it's good, but when it's not working out, now it's just solely Bill O'Brien's fault. Why was there no credit given to Bill O'Brien when he was executing well? Because obviously he had to put him in those positions. Yes, some of it was on the fly. Some of it was him just kind of things breaking down and him making stuff happen. But at the same time, he had to be in position. He's been given a lot more leeway this year. He's been able to call audibles, call out of plays. We've seen him do it much more. He's probably called just this season alone. He's probably audibled out of more plays than Matt Schaub got to in his entire career as a Texan. You got to point the finger where the finger needs to be pointed. I can't if we're going to give him credit for being, people are crowning him the GOAT and everything like that, you got to take the good with the bad. And the thing is, not saying that he sucks, not saying that he's shit, not saying he's trash or anything like that, but I'm not going to blame B.O.B. for certain things. Like Bill O'Brien's not snapping the ball to him on the field, man. You know what I'm saying? He's not throwing the ball to Bill O'Brien in the end zone. These are decisions that he makes. You trust your players to make decisions and execute. That's what the quarterbacking is, the hardest job in sports. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you have to accept, if you want the glory, you got to take the blame too. That's just how it works. And what a lot of it has been going on is we're deflecting any blame from Deshaun. We're deflecting. We're reflecting all the blame on goddamn B.O.B. So, B.O.B. has his share too. But, let's give Watson, his due for what he's doing. Let's give Bill his due for what he's doing. Because if Watson's out there balling, nobody's saying nothing negative about it. But when he isn't performing up to par, it's always somebody else's fault. Let's just call it like it is.
And Braylon, it's not a talent issue with Watson right now. It's a decision-making issue. His lack of ability to keep that clock in his head to say, I got to get this ball out, which leads to him standing flat-footed on the field.
Did you not see
Stop.
Tenny, no.
You don't get to talk. You don't get to talk. Did you not
see the overhead play? No, Tenny. No. I
don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
No, Tenny.
Listen to me.
Did you not see the overhead
play?
Bring it in, Braylon. Did you not see the play overhead?
Braylon, you can knock the camera over again. Braylon, you gonna knock the camera over again. Stop.
Camera over.
You almost hit it just now.
Did you not? Did you not see the overhead play? Did you not see it?
Listen, Braylon.
Did you not see it?
Braylon.
Did you not see the play
What about in the Patriots game? What about in the Patriots game when he went flat-footed?
When he went flat-footed, yeah, of course. That was a mistake.
Just listen. You can't sit here and defend him on his own decision-making. If the guys are covered, that's understandable. Throw the ball away. But you're not listening, though. You're not even letting me finish the point. You just automatically think that I'm going to go the way that you think it's going to go. Like, seriously, his lack of decision-making is leading to a lot of his mistakes. It's not talent-wise that he's not succeeding. It's his ability to determine what he should do. And that's what's hurting him right now. His ability to determine what's going to happen between the handoff between the center and him, what's going to happen with the fucking handoff between him and the running back. Those are decision makings that's happening in his head, things that he's second guessing. And that's what leads to flat-footedness. That's what leads to a breakdown in his technique. And that's what's happening right now. Watson's going through something mentally. He's not going through something talent-wise or physically. It's that he cannot perform the job physically. It's the fact that his mind is getting in the way of his ability to perform the job.
Which is what I was trying to say, is that we still have to realize that his mind is 10 to 11 games strong.
Yeah, now, but he doesn't have that time. These quarterbacks, you're rushed in and out. He's got this year alone to start to prove from the beginning of the season to the end of the season if he can turn around his ability to recognize these issues. And then next year, if they replace the coach, he's got 1 year with this new coach before that coach starts looking elsewhere, because he has nothing invested in Deshaun Watson. He didn't drop picks for him. He didn't decide to draft him. He can walk away from him after a year if he doesn't perform. His time in this league is counting down as we speak. And that's the situation that he's in. He's not in a situation where he can be a defensive lineman or outside linebacker who plays for years under his rookie contract and be okay. This league does not give a fuck about that, and coaches and GMs will get rid of your ass quick if you're a bad quarterback. And that's unfortunately the road that he's on right now, and we can't sit here and deny that.
Man, appreciate the love, Steve, man. Holding down the Super Saucy Super Chat. I appreciate that.
All I'm saying is that we know he can do it. We've all seen him do it. And we know he made these mistakes. But let's not forget that this man has not been in the room as long as other quarterbacks. He has not been in the QB's room looking at film and all of that stuff as long as Pat Mahomes, as long as Mitchell Trubisky.
No, you just chose two wrong people because they came into the league at the same time. You cannot sit there and say that.
Exact time. They came in the league at the same exact time.
ACL kept him out of the film room? The hell, they make him run laps before he goes in there?
Tenny, We saw it on social media. No, Tenny, we saw it on social media. He wasn't in the film room. He was always in recovery room.
What does that
Tenny,
say about him then? What does that say about him if he can't get in the film room for 30 minutes?
I'll be honest with you, man. Don't go only by social media. Simply because I don't think they would want them recording what they're doing in the film room and what they're talking about. So, you know, being in recovery is one thing, but
of course, I fully understand that they won't, you know, record the film room and stuff. I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that when he was nursing his injury, which he didn't, you know, which he was trying to nurse, he was trying to get it healed with some guys that we can all say are pretty bad at their job because everybody got injured. I'm gonna say that right now. I'm gonna say it was pretty bad at their job. But when he was nursing an injury, doing practice and all that stuff and during games, we can tell that he wasn't in the film room. Can we not Can we tell he wasn't in the film room right now? As of right now, these first two.
Braylon, are you arguing that he didn't put enough time into the film room?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying with his injury, he didn't have the chance to be in the film room with those guys with some pretty lackluster QBs.
Braylon, you do know rehab sessions last for about an hour and a half. What's he doing with the other 23 and a half hours in the day? Other 22 and a half hours in the day? I mean, come on. If he's not hobbling his ass on down to the film room real quick just to sit down and rest and catch the rub down inside the film room, I mean, what is he doing?
I mean, yeah, because he can be rehabbing while they're practicing, and when you come in after getting workouts or whatever else it is, he's more than available to go in the film room and just kind of watch and see what's going on, you know. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to take advantage of that to make sure that he can see.
But then that film room compares on what's the field. I'm just saying he has not had enough time on field and film room together combined to fully understand what's going on in his mind. I'm just saying he's a 23-year-old quarterback who was in a totally different offense than a spread offense that was made for him to see the field easier, which I'm kind of – Bill O'Brien needs to go back to spread offense. He went away with that offseason. But I'm not saying that Watson hasn't made bad mistakes. The Vincent Smith, bad mistake. Him holding on to the ball too long for Lamar Miller, his mistake. Other than that, what tragic mistake has he had?
Well, you know what? If I was to look at things through what you're saying right now, I would say, Deshaun Watson, you should have kept your ass at home instead of going to Germany. You should have took more time and put yourself into your craft more instead of making these trips that you would cut. At the end of the day, you're out here eating sausages and shit in Germany when Braylon says you should be in the film room taking advantage of what you got in front of you.
Brandon said you can't have no life. Till you win us a Super Bowl, you can't go nowhere, you can't do shit. You're not allowed if you ain't studied enough film.
I mean, he went there and it was the NFL. It was the NFL as a corporate decision. He went up there for NFL, but I'm just saying he hasn't had enough time. We can see he hasn't had enough time, as much time as he's needed.
But here's my thing.
Detective Watson doesn't need to be shooting those commercials anymore.
No,
and then fuck HEB. And also fuck HEB, because no matter what, thankfully HEB ain't touched the damn Rockets, and they got a contract with the Spurs, so they can't touch the damn Rockets. So thankfully, because everybody's done an HEB commercial except for
they got a contract with the Cowboys too.
Yeah, that's awful.
And they're doing bad.
But here's my thing though, about what you said, Bradley. You said, other than that, what egregious mistakes has he made? That first fumble again turned into that pat score that they end up beating us by.
Yeah, I've mentioned that.
That the one you're talking about, the interception, Vincent Smith situation. Yep. Again, these things turn into the points that the defense has to overcome, putting the defense in a bad situation. It may not directly look like he's doing it, but these things have a carryover effect. And it hinders. So I mean, I'm not blaming the entire loss on him, but again, what happens with the quarterbacks is they get the blame. I mean, they get the credit for everything, even when they don't perform. I'm not saying that he's not performing or that he's not doing this, because he's still putting up some decent numbers. The stat sheet looks good, but when you look at when these things took place in the game, it has an impact. But I'm a person about holding them accountable, man. Like, you know, if you're gonna get all the glory, you got to take some of the blame too. And again, just like I said, shit, McClowney wasn't even playing. I put the blame on him for extending that drive that shouldn't have been extended. You know, guys that requires more energy. You know, it's defense is pure reaction. You know, every now and then the offense can get lucky on you. But
I'm just trying to. I'm gonna end this here. All I'm saying is that I'm just trying to say is that we are criticizing him way harshly than what we really need to be. Just saying. Then no. Then he
Braylon, I haven't been as mean as I can.
No. I'm not saying guys in the sauce and some of the guys has watched. I'm saying Texans fans as a whole has been very harsh on this man. Has been very harsh on this man for 2 weeks of bad play out of 10, 11 weeks we've seen good play. Just saying, it's treating him harsh. I get that he's black and all of that, and that plays a factor. And we know that plays a factor because I swear to God, Baker Mayfield will make these mistakes in the next 5 games, man. Be like, oh, he's still up and rising number 1 overall pick. I'm just trying to say is that we need to, you know, the fans as a whole need to, you know, calm down on saying that this man do not know what he's saying, because fans was judging him off his press conference saying he was trying to make a play. But even when he got outside the packet, he passed it. It was still going to be illegal. I'm just saying. It was a lot of situations that he just needs, that we need to, you know, kind of take our time as a whole. I'm not pointing any fingers to the sauce, anything. Just as a whole, you know, kind of understand his situation.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Go ahead, Jenny.
Well, I was going to say that frustration comes with everyone. I mean, you look at what they said about Clowney when we first got him and the injuries he was dealing with. So, I mean, that's just something that comes with the game. You know, you're going to have your fair weather fans that are going to be ready to pitchfork and burn him at the stake. But at the same time, I mean, we're giving constructive criticism here, and I get what you're saying as far as not pointing the finger at any of us. But at the end of the day, you really got to give those fair weather fans the opportunity to make asses of themselves. So that way you can sit here and just like point out to them and say, look at you. You made a fool of yourself.
Yes. Boo-boo the fool. But see, this is why I wanted to get the bad out the way first before we talked about the good, because I knew that it would be some things, it would be some shit that would get stirred up. But then we're going to talk about the good. We're going to open up the sauce line because I see a couple of folks trying to call it. This is what I want to look at, because I want things to be on a little bit more positive note. Now, this is what I would like to attribute to the good column. Okay. Now, some of the things that I noticed that the Texans have been doing well, aside from the assault on Kevin Johnson in week 1, the Texans have been relatively stout on defense. They've been, I won't say it's been kind of the bend but don't break thing, unless they're put in a bad situation. The Texans have been solid enough on defense. They've been capable enough. Another good outlook is this for this weekend going into this game is Clowney's returning. They're down on O-lineman. We got an added weapon back. And I'm hoping that, you know, he had a chance, he want to collect that check, so he's going to have to start playing. And that brings up another question. We'll talk about that in a little while. We're not having the same complaints about safety play. We're not having that secondary complaint. We're still sketchy in the corner area, you know, with Kjo going down and trying to find, you know, capable backups and things like that. But I wouldn't just say that we're getting burnt up in the corner department. Jackson's been looking good. He's been showing that he's versatile. Number 1 running game. That's something to halfway hang your hat on, something you can't complain about. And then another plus looking into this game to try to be positive about is you're going to have DJ Reader, who has been playing very well, going up against a backup center. And so hopefully he can capitalize, again, with the center having to deal with that type of pressure. And centers are guys who make the calls for the O-line as far as, you know, pickups and things like that. That looks to be an advantage. So I'm hoping that the Texans can capitalize off this. But just looking over the course of these few games, what would you guys look at and say has been a plus or a positive for this Texans team? You just cheer up, Braylon. Just take a let's think about the good in life. Think about the best chicken burger that you've had recently. You know, just get positive, and let's hear your thoughts on what are the Texans doing right. Actually, let's get away from all the negative. What are they actually doing right that they can build upon to move forward and hopefully get this dub?
I do want to say, seeing that for the first time in a while, we had two receivers have a 100-yard receiving game at the same damn game. We haven't seen that for a while. It probably haven't happened since AJ and Hopkins on the team. To know that Hopkins doesn't have to do it all is probably the biggest factor for this offense, because Hopkins literally had to do everything. That comes, play calling at certain times. I give credit for Bill O'Brien because he's had some good play calls at times. To open up Will Fuller, especially when they double team Hopkins, Fuller get open on a crossing route, or he'll get open on a goal 9 route and just burn past Butler. And to know that once again Hopkins can take some breaks on offense and not be, Hopkins. That the good thing is that completely opens up our offense. So yeah. Oh, and Eli Apple's out, so Will Fuller probably eat on Janoris Jenkins, and Hopkins will eat on whoever on them, because Janoris Jenkins will get burnt. As we saw Sunday, Tavon Austin just bullied that man.
Like that, those are pluses. Definitely good things to look at. That should bode well and be in our favor. Tenny, what have you noticed with this team, man, that we can look at, our foundations that we can build upon to hopefully get some numbers in the win column?
Playoffs? You want to talk about the playoffs? I mean, let's say about the good. Okay, so let's take things into consideration. All right, so let's say them becoming stat monsters in the second half doesn't tell what this offense can do. Let's say they come into this game getting hot in the first half and keep it going all the way through the second half. That is a good thing that we could look forward to. And I'm going to actually pull up something that was pretty interesting. I started talking with a coworker of mine, and we got onto the subject as far as like what's going on. And it's very well a possibility. I touched on it in my video. I said, if you look at week 1 and week 2 last year for Deshaun Watson, he had a rough start to the season. He had to come into a game halfway through the game on the fly trying to get shit together. First game of the season this year, he had a rough game. He wasn't making really good decisions. Then you go into the second game, he didn't really get things moving against the Bengals. I mean, it took a 49-yard touchdown run by him to even get that winning score for us. So, I mean, he didn't really break out until week 3. So one good thing that we could possibly be looking at is, if you believe in patterns, if you believe in guys who are good in November or bad in December or vice versa, I mean, what if Deshaun Watson's just one of those guys that comes out and shits the bed in week 1 and week 2 and sets the record straight and starts balling his ass off in week 3? What if it just takes that little bit of time that he needs to get acclimated? So, I mean, there are some good things coming into this. I mean, if you want to match his shit from game to game, I mean, technically this would be the game that he goes off in. So, I mean, that coupled with the fact, and I know this is going to sound really insensitive to people, but that superintendent shit can sometimes light a fire up under your ass. And having somebody just talk shit about you just because of the color of your skin and saying you can't play your position because you're a black man and black quarterbacks can't be trusted. No, fuck that shit. There's plenty of fucking black men, and throughout the history of football has come out here and done their fucking thing. So, I mean, when you got something to go prove, sometimes it gives you that little extra fire up your ass to go out there and win this game. So the good thing is they got a lot of motivation coming in, and it's another one of those outside adversities that can bring them together to help them play really well. And the outside adversity of McNair during the Seattle Seahawks game really put them on another level and had them playing together as a team for most of that game, except for that defense. So, I mean, there's like little things here and there that you could see that this team goes into the game against the Giants and actually has a chance of pulling it off, just because there's more to care about it at right now. There's the naysayers of Watson. There's the stigma of falling into that hole again. I don't think J.J. Watt and the veterans that have been on this team who went through the 2-14 season really want to see that again. So, I mean, there's a lot of reason for these guys to really get off their asses and play hard.
I saw something that kind of made me mad, and I'm gonna address this on the chat. T-Mac 34. You got to be a dummy to say Watson would be much better to come off the bench. That'll make it worse because then he'll have less time to get warm. Just saying, no, he would never come off the bench if he's playing QB. He would never, play, first couple drive Brandon Wheaton. No.
What if he's coming off the bench between drives after he just scored a touchdown? He's sitting down looking at the iPad. I mean, he's technically sitting on the bench then. Then he gets up, because the defense gets a turnover, instant change of field.
You know what?
He's coming off the bench. I'm just saying.
Honcho,
we're going to be technical about it.
Honcho, I'm saying like he wasn't the starting QB. He didn't have the first snap at QB.
Okay. Hey, never forget.
Jesus.
Braden liked the superintendent's comments, so there's that. But
hell no, stop that bullshit.
But I agree with what you said, Tinny. About sometimes outside interference. The racial comments, because Braylon makes racial comments all the time, and I think it fires up the chat because he talks about people. What is that? Is that a Y phone? Why'd you buy that? Yes.
Nah, bitch.
Are you smelling your iPhone box?
My hands is cold, and this was laid on top of my Xbox, which is pretty warm, and I'm cold as shit in this house, and I can't turn the AC on and off.
He got that McDare blood running through him. He cold hands and cold blood.
That's that reptile shit.
Nah, bro, I'm cold. This shit is warm.
Okay.
Hey, Voodoo Child, you mad because your face recognition works once out of every 20 times. That's why you're mad. Damn it, you're mad because your face ID doesn't work.
Look, all I'm saying is this shit ain't on video capture on a fucking Android. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I don't know. Hey, if you like that kind of thing, if you guys like that cheap Chinese labor, hey, it is what it is. But again, you guys.
I like my Nikes too. They cheap Chinese.
Yeah. Honcho, I'm just saying, ain't the Galaxy also made in China?
It's made in the best parts of China. All right, where they're in upper class China. All right. But let's open up the sauce line, man. We're going to get some calls in. We're going to get some opinions. We're going to have some reaction to some of Braylon's racist comments.
You know what? Leave me alone.
Hold on. We got a couple of texts. Let me read these couple of texts first, and then we will open up the sauce line. Shout out to Chandler, man, holding it down. Oh, man, shout out to Chandler. He always hold down the sauce line. Don't nobody else hold it down.
Chandler line. You already know. It's the Chandler line.
It says, shout out to Honcho, Tinny, racist ass, breaking news, Bray Bray. He didn't say racist ass. I threw that in myself. I think people are criticizing Deshaun because he's not performing well. But to be honest, really, is that people blame back in 2002 when we selected David Carr and he was a bust. But also our first coach, Dom Capers, and honestly, David Carr has been sacked 76 times. That's a record now. But in 2018, we have Deshaun Watson. But our line still needs to be upgraded. And I kind of agree with that because here's my thing. Honestly, David Carr was not as bad as we made him seem. It was the dude basically had PTSD. Not to make light of it, but I mean whatever you would call the football version of it, because I mean it was hut sack. Like the dude was running for his life as much as he basically could, and trying to make something out of nothing. And people just, again, like when you have a lot of casuals, all people do is look at the quarterback position because that's the most noticeable position on the field. And again, he was constantly under pressure. And then, shit, by the time it was halfway, who was it? Baselli? That never played? Goddamn, who was it that we picked up that never fucking played? God damn it. Who was that never fucking played? It was Baselli, wasn't it? Am I thinking somebody else? I'm old. I done turned 34. I'm old. My mind don't work like it used to. But my thing is this, man. It's just like I agree that we're overreacting. People see a little bit of good, and here's the thing: a lot of those people who are complaining about what Deshaun Watson did last year, not doing it now, are people who only jumped back on the train because they saw that happening. The people who probably weren't even really Texans fans from the get-go. A lot of us have suffered through a lot. And that's why I think we can be honestly critical about everything that's going on. Not all of us jumped on the Georgia bandwagon and, rode with that, but it is what it is. But but I mean, we've been through the ups and downs, and so it is what it is. And so I think, I think people who have kind of been sticking with this team through everything look at it a little bit more reasonably. and can appreciate, the highlight that was that small period last year. And we're not demeaning Deshaun and saying that he's not gonna. I also said, don't expect that. I feel like he's capable of putting up, 3 to 4 touchdowns a game. Because once he gets things figured out, once B.O.B. maybe he tries not to make things so complicated, let him play. Just let the man be able to play free and play football, and I think you'll get the best results out of Deshaun Watson. So I can agree with you on that one, Chandler. So shout out to Chandler.
Hey, I got some news from Broderick Brooks. That iPhone using Samsung shit is fucking 10 years old. Samsung uses his own OLED display. That Samsung can't even have the small little bezels that iPhone have. Y'all got some fat ass chins at the bottom of y'all shit. Leave Apple alone, nigga. This screen right here is one of a fucking kind because we bend our screen is actually bend.
Did he just get racist again?
Yeah, he did.
No.
I heard it.
No. I mean, every time I use a R, ER at the end, I say, "Oh,
you know what you remind me of right now, Braylon?
What?
Like I rock the iPhone and all, but I mean, it's like when the South Park flag had to be changed, and then all the Ku Klux Klan members came out, which is you, and started supporting the same shit. Like, I feel like I shouldn't even have my iPhone anymore. I want to throw it away because you be throwing around the N-word all willy-nilly.
Are y'all playing?
Look at him. He just threw his phone again.
Are y'all playing my emotions?
I don't know.
Damn it.
Are you watching a soccer game over there? What you watching over there?
It's FIFA. It's
FIFA.
It's FIFA 19. It's just like some beginning credits and shit. I'm not playing the game.
I don't understand how a racist like you could play such an international game.
Braylon, you look like you run a like Ku Klux Klan like hotline. Like you sit on the back end just talking to them and talking them down from the guy who cut them in line at the grocery store.
I'm gonna ignore all of y'all fake, false news, fake news. This BS. I promise
Black Klansman
it
too.
really is.
Did y'all see him throw up that Ku Klux Klan sign? Yeah. I saw it. He closed them fingers real quick.
Somebody said it earlier in the chat that they saw Brandon throw up the white power sign, the little OK symbol or whatever it was. I saw somebody say that earlier. But here's the deal. We're gonna open up the sauce line. Hold on, let me put the proper ear gear in. We're gonna stop harassing Brandon. You know what I'm saying?
Leave me alone. I'm a fan of Ronaldo. I'm a fan of PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. I don't care. Neymar, Mbappe. I'm a fan of an African brother at 18 years old making more money than me. I know.
That brother had a hard ER on it too.
What?
You said brother with a hard ER on there too. I don't know, man.
My brother, who is my African brother, who is French.
Hello. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called in on the sauce line? Oh, let me turn it up.
Houston Homer.
There we go. My fault. What's the motherfucking?
You already know. It's your favorite Houston Homer.
Am I calling myself?
First, I want to address Clayton over here, Mr. White Power. I hate to say it, but our chins may be a little bit big, but your forehead's got a fucking dimple in it.
Oh, man. He was a battle scar.
Is this scar right here that y'all never see?
My fault. You were muted there, so there was another battle you got to fight against the mute button. But now, what were you saying so they can understand what you were saying there, Braylon?
I was saying that my dimples and my forehead come from the same time when I got a scar right here on my cheek when I was a dumbass 2-year-old kid. You know, I had a high heel shoe in my hand. It broke a mirror off the thing, and it cut me. I had a gash wide open. You can see my skull. Yeah.
Damn. Hold on. Damn, we got to talk about that.
I was too, bro.
What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line this evening? Oh, shit. I got. Oh, damn. I'm missing. I thought, look, I'm listening to Braylon's story. I ain't even pushing the buttons properly. God damn. My fault. Y'all, call back on. Hold on. Okay. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line?
Dear God. Seriously, Uncle Ruckus? I ain't talking about your actual fucking forehead. You're talking about Samsung's chin. I'm talking about your goddamn dimple on the fucking top of your fucking phone, dumbass.
Hold on, we got another call coming in. Brady, why you being so sensitive? What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
Mr. Rabbit.
No, Mr. Rabbit, how's it going, Mr. Rabbit? What would you like to splash on the sauce line this evening?
First off, before I say anything else, I want to say first off, I wanted to say that I was sorry for not going on to the sauce line or going on to the I'm not even sure that the den line was open. No, but I'm sorry for not coming on the sauce line and wishing you a happy birthday. I hope you had a happy birthday.
Yes.
But yeah, I DM'd you on Instagram, so hopefully you had a happy birthday.
Yes, I did. Braylon didn't call me anything racist, so I had a pretty good birthday. I have no complaints about that.
Braylon did what?
That's it. Braylon didn't call me anything racist, so I had a pretty good happy.
Oh. Well, I still can't hear you, but that doesn't matter. But anyways.
All right, sorry about that. But what kind of sauce you want to splash on the line tonight? What's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind is I have this question: should I be worried about us going against the Giants or not? Because let's look at the record. They're 0-2 right now, and has anybody ever? Okay, I'm gonna ask this now. Has anybody caught up with Saquon Barkley to see if he's injured yet?
I don't think he is. I haven't seen anything say. I haven't seen anything saying that he is injured, and so I expect to deal with him. I have to deal with him on Sunday. Well, I expect the Texans will have to deal with him on Sunday. But my thing is, should you be worried or not? I want to tell you not to be worried, but I would have told you not to be worried against the Titans. As a matter of fact, I did tell you not to be worried against the Titans. I told everybody not to be worried against the Titans. So
yeah,
I mean, I talk all this shit about it. See, this is why I stick firmly by the I am not an expert claim. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a fan talking to fans because I'm gonna be wrong. I will be wrong. I mean, nobody's perfect. So I'm gonna tell you, if the Texans fan is in your heart, you gamble. You say, fuck the goddamn Giants, fuck Eli Manning, and you go for it. But I honestly can't feel as confident as I want to feel saying that the Texans have this one in hand. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you on that one. I honestly don't.
Yeah. Also, before I go, I just wanted to say the Browns won a game. Yeah. And the brownie special on the 2-point conversion. You know what? I'm somebody made this comment, and I'm gonna steal it because it's fucking Friday. So fuck that dude who made that comment. I can steal it. It's a free country. The brownie special was baked perfectly.
Oh man, goddamn! I didn't even know they had a brownie special. First, I didn't watch the game. I think I was in the sauce or something like that. But shout out to Dr. Rabbit. The brownie special was baked perfectly. I saw we had a couple of calls come in. Man, call back. I apologize. I missed a couple of calls there.
Hey, real quick, I do want to say shout out to Dr. Rabbit for them fart videos on Instagram. I swear to God, if every time I need to laugh, I watch them hoes. Especially Shaq Kush, bro. I swear to God, bro. I ain't never heard that shit in my life, Shaq Kush. If you're watching this, Cushington, shout out to you, because that right there is some historic level types of short.
That shit was disgusting. I have nightmares about that fart. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
It is your boy, Dr. Voodoo. I just wanted to go ahead and correct it. It has been called the Cleveland Steamer.
Oh, shit. Oh, literally? Oh, shit. The Cleveland man, that's why I say social media is done some awful things to sports, to life.
I'll just agree that them motherfuckers stole that shit from Philly.
Yeah, I
Nah, but they call it the Baker Special. Just telling you that right now.
Oh, man, this shit got too many goddamn names. They better call that shit the one win that they get for the next 2 years and enjoy that shit. They better wallow in that shit. They get a whole they don't have to play till next Sunday, so they get about 11 days to enjoy that shit. So they better roll with that shit. All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening? Hello, hello.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yo.
We got some miscommunication here. Ain't got nobody using that.
Honcho.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Who we got on the sauce line this evening? I don't think it's going through. Let's see. Call us back on that one. Like I said, I could hear you on my end. I don't know if you could hear me or not. You heard me all 3 times? Okay. Well, I don't know. But we got to get back to a story. Look, we're not going to brush this under the rug. We got to find out what was going on with breaking news Bray Bray, or breaking mirrors Bray Bray.
Where the fuck was his babysitter?
Yeah.
The fuck is a 2-year-old banging on a window, or not a window, a mirror with a damn high heel?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on with that?
Well, fucking backyardigans must have been going hard that day.
I'm not that backyardigans wasn't there when I was 2 years old. Just telling you that now.
Okay.
But what I'm gonna say is, my aunt, which was who was watching me at the time, she had went to the kitchen to go get something because she has three children of her own, so she had to watch me and her 3 children. And she went to go do something, and I was on the floor. And I was just being able to walk, move around, and all that stuff. And I stumbled all the time. I was able to keep my balance. So I was, I'm not sure, but this is the story that I was told. Because I don't remember what the fuck happened at 2 years. The oldest memory I have is a 3-year-old Chuck E. Cheese birthday. Still, that was the best birthday when I was 3. I swear to God it was. I don't know. But leave me alone. This is my story. I'm telling my story. So, and y'all gonna hear this full story. Y'all going to hear the full story.
Not unless I hit that mute button. But go ahead.
All right. So, what I'm told is that apparently I had the high heel shoes. I was setting up the mirror, and I kept hitting it. And they heard the mirrors, they was hearing some banging, but they didn't think it was my 2-year-old self. And my 2-year-old self was smart enough to, continue to bang on that mirror. And that mirror finally gave out. And I had glass right here. It's a scar right here. It's about like 3 scars right here still. And then, of course, the biggest scar right here cut me skull deep.
Damn.
Of course I was crying. But once I got to the hospital, when I got to Texas Tubers, they said I was crawling on that floor with my face out. They said I was crawling like nothing ever happened. They said I was good, apparently.
Okay.
Right. Yep. That's the story.
So I have a question. Do you use the scars to get hoes? Do you be telling them you be on some gangster shit, telling them you was in a knife fight or some shit? It's like, I had to cut a nigga. He got me good, but
Hoes
I was
don't
about
like
to say,
that.
man.
All right.
I was about to say, tell him, man. Look, man, I had to defend my girl one time. This dude was talking a whole bunch of trash about her, pulled a knife out, cut me up. But I binked off on his ass.
The thing is, the scar looks 15. The scar looks 16 years old. So it looks like it's a part of my skin now.
Well, shit, holler at fucking bitches 15 years older than you.
Well, there you go.
You know what, nigga? I know.
I like that logic. I think that works.
I mean, look.
But we had a couple of comments in the chat, man. That's why I fuck with Sauce Nation. They said that was actually the beginning of your racism. You saw a black child in the mirror, so you were trying to beat him with a high heel,
y'all.
And
Fuck
it was only your
y'all.
reflection. So
Fuck y'all. I swear to God. I support
He
all of them.
he said he's supposed to be born a white man named Clark.
I identify as a white man. Yes. So there's that. That's fucking hilarious. How did the Astros clinch a playoff, bro? I think didn't Hector say like the magic number was 2 or something like that the other day?
Okay, if they win tonight, they clinch playoffs.
Okay, playoffs. At least the Astros talking about playoffs, so we'll have something going for them, man. I can't.
Y'all are giving me plenty of shit, aren't y'all?
Yeah,
y'all are giving me plenty.
It's fucking Friday when we get off the stream. Brandon gonna be, I got your fuck 'em, you niggers with the hard ER. Fuck you. He gonna call Tenny a nigger too. Shit, he gonna throw a hard ER on Tenny. Like he gonna get this motherfucker mad. Fuck Honcho. Fuck Tenny. Fuck Sausage. I got your fucking Friday.
He don't know if he should call me a wigger or a migger, whatever it is.
All right.
Damn,
don't give me as much slack. All right. So hopefully this gives me a bit more credibility. I only fuck with black bitches and Hispanic bitches. Tell you that now. Cause they go crazy. The Hispanic bitches go crazy.
Bitches did. I mean, you could be like, once you go outside of like one demo, then you just got right. So like, I mean, shit, you just fuck with bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like you either fuck with like only one specifically, or you just fuck with bitches. I mean,
yeah, I mean, like,
now the white.
Are we talking about like ghetto hood rat queens, or are we talking about proper women?
Yes.
Proper women. Proper women.
And you call them bitches? You must not be getting much.
So I mean, here's my thing. Yeah. You know why can't they be ladies? Why Sauce Nation want to know why you fuck with these bitches? You've been listening to that rap music, ain't you? God damn it.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. It's only 3 rappers I listen to at this moment. Okay. First off, Travis Scott don't use bitches that lot. Okay. And J. Cole has a lot of, respect for women. Okay. And Mac Miller. And first off, I've been listening to Mac Miller for a while.
Like 3 days,
I've been
4
hooked
days.
on. No, since 2015-16 when he came out with Good AM, and then the Feminine Divide.
Mm-hmm.
So leave me alone.
Okay.
I only listen to those 3 right now, okay. And they don't use those words.
Okay, so where'd you get it from then? I mean, where you heard it from somewhere? What kind of crowd are you hanging out with there, Braylon?
Damn it, it's because I go to school with a lot of. I'm okay. I go to school with a few idiots. No. I go to school with a few idiots.
He goes to school with guys like William III and Charles Williamton II.
No. I go to school with kids that says the First Amendment is the rights of the right for black people to vote.
What?
Yeah, I go to school with people like that. Yeah.
All right. So there's that. That whole situation. So do you blame those people, or do you blame the school and the education system that you're currently involved in?
Okay, I don't blame the school. The education system is broken in a way that the school I go to, are labeled a certain way. Matter of fact, this is because
thought that you could translate "thought" in Spanish.
What? Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
Oh, sorry, I was rehearsing. I just want to tell Braylon this. You think you go to school with idiots? Do you think that you go to school with idiots? I have a kid in Spanish who thought that he could translate "thought" in Spanish. He obviously doesn't understand that "thought" means that hole over there.
So how would you translate that?
You want to wait, hold on. You want to know what made it worse? You want to know what made it worse?
What's that? What made it worse?
He was a junior.
Hey man, I mean that's the future of America we talk about right there. So,
Our generation is fucked. Oh, by the way, it's fucking Friday now.
Okay, what you got?
So I gotta give a fucking Friday to that dude, to the guy who thought that he could translate "thought" in Spanish. I also want to give a fucking Friday to the Jets for giving them the Browns the first win. And I was gonna do it, but I decided not to. I was gonna say fuck Voodoo Child, but then again, Cleveland Steamer does sound better. But I kind of said the Brownie Special because if you watch like before the game, Joe Thomas wanted to do the chant, here we go Brownies, here we go, like that. But then again, Cleveland Steamer does sound better. And finally, and you guys may be shocked about this, fuck the Steelers. Their hypocrisy of fans, and they got a rapist for a quarterback. Then again, the Ravens had a murderer for a linebacker.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's the NFL. We need to bring back the NFL like it used to be when it used to be good. You were allowed to do whatever.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, fuck Le'Veon Bell. That dude's an asshole.
I mean,
you don't need that big of a.
You ain't getting that new Le'Veon album?
What now?
You ain't getting that new Le'Veon album? You ain't gonna go buy the new Le'Veon CD that he just dropped? He just dropped a rap album. You ain't gonna go buy it?
Can you repeat that? The echo is fucking. Urinating tree was right when he said to stick to your daytime job. You may not even have a daytime job. Trent Bailey, I've been hearing you lately. Shut up! You're not good at rapping.
Oh man, Mr. Rabbit, I appreciate your call, man.
All right, I'm actually gonna head out on the stream. I'm gonna go eat dinner. Good night to everybody in the chat. Good night to you, Mr. Honcho. Hopefully you had a happy birthday. Yes, also, thank you, Braylon, for the shout out for the two farts. I wasted no time on that. I didn't even realize I had a game screen recorder app on my phone. I was like, hey, let me click the link. Let me get the record app going, and then I can do that. And also wanted to give a shout out to Tinny, dude. No offense, but you need braces.
Well, now, I appreciate you calling, Mr. Rabbit. We'll take this next call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the sauce line?
This is Mr. Chandler. Okay, so here's the thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers is that should they just fire Mike Tomlin because here's the thing. I think he's losing the locker room, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Should they fire Mike Tomlin, or should they just play out the season? And the running back, I don't know what's his name.
Oh, you talking about
Le'Veon Bell. I think he should just get traded or cut or release. And that was my question to you guys.
Okay, shout out to Chandler, man, holding down the sauce line. That Le'Veon Bell situation.
Oh, and then shout out to Timmy and Ricky News Braylon. Shout out to you guys.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, Chandler, holding down the sauce, showing love, man.
Yeah, anytime, bro.
What a guy.
Man, shout out to Chandler for holding down the sauce line, man. And then we probably we may take one or two more calls after that because I just kind of realized how we've been on there for a hot minute. But the Le'Veon Bell situation is kind of tricky because I don't think they really have any. They can release him, can't they, or something like that? Or do they have to wait? I mean, because I know they put the little franchise tenure out there. I'm not sure exactly how that works exactly when somebody doesn't sign because it doesn't happen too often when someone doesn't sign. So there's that.
It's the first time in a while somebody's challenged it for so long.
Yeah, And so, I mean, he out there on jet skis, rapping and shit. But with firing Mike Tomlin, I wouldn't go so overboard. I think, you know, when you got a guy who's won, you got to give him some time, especially for it to be so early in the season. It's not like they were just ass last year. Not as good as they've been in recent years, but again, they're still contending. So, yeah, we can't overreact, you know, with just the first 2 games as we are, you know, being Texans fans. We ain't ever won shit, so we can't really talk so much shit. The Steelers they have hardware, so, you know, that's kind of a different angle that you'll take with that. But yeah, that's kind of my deal with the Steelers situation.
Well, you know, I got a few takes I'd like to take.
Okay.
Can everybody hear me? Y'all got me good?
Yeah.
All right. First things first, chat. Dr. Rabbit is a reason why you do not snort your Adderall, okay? Because that over hyperactive ass motherfucker does not need to be fucking sniffing that shit. And second of all, don't fuck cokehead bitches, because that's how you get a Dr. Rabbit in your life in the first place. You get a little crackhead baby that runs around talking 10 miles a minute, fucking going off about shit that don't even make sense. And, I mean, he has to justify the punchline of a joke, which is kind of weird because, I mean, once you got to explain it, it's over and it's dead. And Dr. Rabbit, my teeth only look like this because I went down on your mama, and that shit was rough. All right, so I cannot lie. This shit was biting back, and I had to fight for my life. It almost reached out and grabbed me like a face hugger from Alien.
Hey, bro, y'all are some savages, bro. Let's try to keep it.
Well
Matter
done.
of fact, let's not keep it friendly because y'all been going off on me. Y'all can go off on somebody else because y'all been going off on me for saying something that happened 4 weeks ago.
Now, somebody said you look like Lil Bill, Braylon.
You know what? They can suck my left nut.
Good grief.
Oh, my God.
Y'all ain't gonna do me like that. Y'all can suck my left nut.
Little Bill.
Leave me alone.
Good grief.
I can suck my left nut. Leave me alone.
God damn. Lil Bill left nut.
Hey, and to be truthful, this is turning into the den right now. I
Yes,
swear
it is. And if you
It's
enjoy
fine. It's fine.
If you enjoy conversation like this, then you should definitely tune into the Den because we definitely go free range with the conversation. Not so much sports, but we talk about literally everything else. So you know, it's if you like having a good time, good conversation, opinions uncensored, you should make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's no longer the Kush Den; it's just the Den now. So there's that. Yeah, man. We gotta get us another one. I don't know if you still fuck with the pub, be like Gil, but we gotta get us a run on the pub, man. We're gonna have to talk about that debacle that took place. You know, shout out to Gil. He's a Titans fan holding down the sauce, but it's all love. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't fucking with y'all for a few days, but y'all, you know, y'all's all good in my book. You know what I'm saying? I definitely need to get my pub, but I ain't played pub. And there will be a mixer tonight because it is the weekend, so I'll give y'all some mixer action. I'll be talking shit on the.
Shit,
I'm gonna
if y'all want
tune
to, we
in.
can run some pub. Shit, fuck it.
All right, that's
I'm
a
down to run.
BET. Yeah, that's a bet 10.
I'm gonna tune in to Honcho being suspect on pub
Well, I gotta be
with his game because you're pretty funny.
I have improved. It's when I don't play with Shaq Kush, I actually do much better. When I play with Shaq Kush, somehow I randomly get shot in the back. Somehow, I didn't know it would fire. I didn't know you. I thought it was somebody else in the bathroom. Or, hey, I'm down. That guy's looking out the window in the same house that we're in. He doesn't see us right now. Make a fucking 180-degree turn and shoot and get the kill. Instead, motherfucker escapes and gets us killed. I don't know.
Don't let Honcho play Hitman because he's gonna be on one mission for 3 hours. I swear to God.
I was understanding the intricacies of the game of Hitman. I had to understand the details. Look.
Damn, Honcho, you gonna let him get on you like that?
Well, first off, he been getting on me all day. It's my time.
Man,
this man,
go eat a chicken burger and relax. Goddamn.
You know what? I'm gonna go enjoy me a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
And look, and remember, the next time you pass by a mirror, that black man that you see is not trying to attack you. It's you. Okay, it's you. Don't start going off on your racial spiel, cussing at yourself. It's you. Just calm down and just take a boost. It's you. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. But here's the deal. Now it's all love, man. You know, sometimes we gotta do something. We get tired of talking so much shit about the text. Look what kind of mood it got us in, goddamn. But no, I fucks with y'all, and I appreciate y'all in the round. I appreciate y'all, Sauce Nation. B Smoke say, brother, gotta make America great again, fitted. Ain't that a bitch? But
you know, I got him fitted up with them New Balances, them all whites.
Oh man, I don't care what nobody says. I got some clean ass.
Hey, bro. I wear Adidas and Nike. I wear Adidas and Nike shoes. Damn it.
I'm not gonna let nobody motherfucking believe tell me if I like some shit. If you look, it could be some it could be some of them Walmart old man 10s, you know what I'm saying, with the Velcro straps across the top. I rock the fuck out them hoes if they fucking if they look solid, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit.
If they solid and they comfortable and shit, I'm wearing them hoes.
Boy, so wonderful weather we having. Bray look like a little cookie from Ned's Declassified.
I'm about to leave y'all because y'all just going off of me.
So I appreciate everybody.
It is fucking Friday.
It is fucking Friday.
Okay, epic man. That was an epic fail because I do not look nothing like Oscar. My head is not that damn skinny. So yeah, that was an epic fail.
Bray let that man have a shine, man. But here's the deal, man. So we're gonna wrap it up here. I appreciate everybody fucking with it. Everybody who's been holding down for the damn near whole 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So it is fucking Friday. I don't know about sauce tomorrow night. You know, usually on Saturdays it'd be kind of iffy, so probably not. But we'll probably have a mixer, probably have the den conversation tomorrow. So man, like I say, if y'all like good conversation, like talking shit, again, we're all friends in the den. Even if we don't agree on all the topics, it's always about good conversation. So make sure y'all check that out. It's always an interesting time in the den. And I want to say shout out to the roundtable. You guys got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat, man. You always throw through, and the lines started popping really well with y'all tonight, and it felt great. I mean, I won't be here on Sunday to see the post game or the pregame or none of that, but I'm definitely going to be thinking about all of y'all once I hear the outcome of the game. So, I mean, shout out for always showing up. Shout out for always talking, man. Like, more and more people are coming across our videos. More and more people like y'all are joining into the conversation, and that's what creates change, and that's exactly what we want to do here in the city of Houston.
God damn.
Hey,
get him up off you, Bray. Get him up off you. Tell him that PSP was not only for porn.
Hey, first off, I think Epic Man and Manuel Garfield is the same person because I just love how they tweet the same shit right after each other. So somebody sucking somebody dick over there. Once again,
Braylon, you said they got a little Dutch windmill action going on. One's holding their dick and the other one's pulling the arm up and down.
Yeah, but they're going 99 on each other right now.
Oh God.
Yeah. Beast mode engaged. Are you playing Yu-Gi-Oh right now? Because I think you are. Just try it out. I mean, although Yu-Gi-Oh is a great game, but it seems like you're a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. That's not.
You sound like MGK right now.
Hey. I gave you power. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny as shit. That was funny as shit for the cooking. But in all serious note, the biggest shout out goes out to Honcho, because without Honcho, man, this shit would not be possible, bro. We would not be over here roasting each other, having fun, man. This man just had a birthday, and I feel like he's probably the most underappreciated guy out here. So,
yes, sir. Honcho has created this mecca. So y'all praise him.
Yeah, man, just keep on supporting this thing, and if it weren't for Honcho, man, we would not be here. I mean, to be truthfully honest, I feel like we the best sports show in Houston, the best sports show in Texas. Fuck Will Kane, fuck Stephen A. Smith, and we can surpass them too. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. So yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I sincerely appreciate it again, though. But you guys bring your individual flavor. You bring your own recipe to the sauce, and that's shout out to all the Sauce Nation, because you guys are all fresh ingredients, man. So, like I say, one man cannot do this alone, and so I appreciate everybody who tunes in every evening. And some people, I know y'all can't make it all the time, but when y'all do check it out, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody who has been checking out the lunch and sharing it with friends. Again, it is what it is. But you guys make this all worthwhile, so thank you. So Nene just had his birthday too. Oh, there y'all go. Said, look. Tell him.
Hey, first off, Honcho don't look nothing like Nene, so y'all can stop that shit right now.
Yeah. And see, there you go. So from the most racist black man I know, said I don't look like another black man. So
you know what? That is, come on, man.
I'm just giving you a hard time. But here's the deal, man. Like I said, we're gonna be in the den at 10, and we'll be talking about a wide variety of things. But we'll discuss some of the things that took place today. But the primary conversation, we'll try to stay on point. You know we never do. But I want to talk about we're going to talk about comedians tonight. And are they the last safe haven of America? And y'all will see what I'm saying when we have the conversation.
Matter of fact, I got something to mention about comedians, because this was brought to me by Kevin Hart when I watched The Breakfast Club earlier today.
Okay.
And it deals with Cat Williams, who, swear to God, is the stupidest person I know. Okay. And not in a good way. Okay. What I've seen, not know.
Okay, we'll have to discuss that. We'll definitely have to discuss that. But like I say, we'll talk about comedians. We'll talk about some other things. We'll talk about, a little bit about the debate. We'll talk about some of the other news that came out politically. Like I say, it's a wide-ranging conversation in the den. So make sure you subscribe to that. Just come through, show some love. We talk plenty of shit. And then after the den, we'll have some mixer action. Regardless of what Braylon says, it'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Even though he hating. That's why he losing 15-0 in FIFA right now. Goddamn. But with that being said, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Again, I thank y'all for taking the time and fucking with the flavor. Shout out to the round table. Shout out to Tenny. Shout out to Braylon. Shout out to everybody who couldn't join us this evening. And like I said, we'll be back probably in the sauce on Sunday, and everything else tomorrow. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Again, y'all stay saucy, and we out.